Thank you for the kind introduction. I don't remember writing such introduction, but yeah. Anyway, going forward. Okay, so today I want to talk about what ABIS, the central figure of GBI. Just kidding, but so how we communicate with the rest of the GBI network and how we also work within the Japanese place. So this is my first time attending EOE. So started with one in Montevideo, and then followed by the Cape Town. Fortunately, I had the opportunity to organize one in Okazaki last year, and then here it is in Montreal. So the main source of ABIS, which stands for Advanced Bioimaging Support, the funding comes from MEXT, or Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology in Japan. And then the framework is fall into the Committee of Promoting Collaboration in Life Science. And this committee established back in 2016 with the four main streams, which is the cohort study, bioimaging, model organism, and genomics. And then so we fall into this bioimaging, then we joined GBI network since 2018. So the situation in Japan, basically, the core facility, the concept of core facility is not common in Japan. So meaning we had a whole bunch of microscopy. You know, we have a domestic company producing microscopy like Nikon and Evident. And then they are distributed throughout Japan, but basically they are operating in isolation, meaning each laboratory group, they purchase microscope, then they use, and most of the case, they rely on individual local support staff, but often doesn't exist, meaning if the PhD student who look after graduate, the technology may be in a pause. So there's a lot of microscope in Japan, but then we are not using in a more efficient manner. So our solution was to establish a nationwide platform. So ABiS located in the center of Japan, Okazaki, and we recruited approximately 40 members now, started with the short, but then as the technology demand arise, we start to recruit more and more people supporting various technologies. And then try to function, so ABiS try to function as a hub to connect people and then share resources and create a platform so that we can support community. And then we support in the various fields, such as light microscopy, electron microscopy, and MRI, as well as image processing and the training. So basically we work as a virtual or network style core facility. And then the coverage of support or service is including consultation, so that when the request comes, not many cases people have a clear mind which microscope to use. So we start with consultation, we do the visualization support, meaning getting a sample or asking for doing the experiment together, or we ended up in the collaboration style. Since many of the microscopes are distant from where the researchers are located, so we have a lot of trouble support secured, and then we have a lot of trainings module as well. So the activity report-wise, so these are the number of cases that we've been supported. So like I said, we started back in 2016. It was a 6-year-old program, and then we luckily able to extend for the second term, and then these are the number showing blue is the accepted ratio of the application. And then this support ended up in number of publications or successful collaborations, so-called. And then this is really boosting career for support staff, technical staff and young scientists, meaning after spending in the lab, not only doing your own experiment and the research, but then by supporting the ABiS activity, they get more publication, and then it's really helping and win-win situation. Speaking of training platform, which is something that I've been working on, the training platform to support researchers, including basic to cutting-edge equipment. Also, a role of technical staff to provide expert advice and data management support. So back in 2016, we started with 8 training course with the number of participants. And then throughout the year, as the demand arise, we established in different kind of training course. And then, yeah, these are the stats. And then we do it in the various style, but then most of the case we invite lecture for the various technology, as well as we use the real instrument for hands-on session. The challenge that we've been facing, or internally and externally, so I'll talk about the international collaboration and networking. Back in 2024, last year, we are fortunately to able to host the EOE. Yeah, so for me, going to the South Africa, Uruguay, was quite a long distance, long travel. So I understand the effort that people put or passion people put in terms of travel. And then, so overall, we had like 160 to 70 people from 40 some country gathered in Okinawa, central Japan. And I really thank Yara and Sophie for helping this organization. Me and the other co-organizer, Naoto, was super exhausted after the organization. So I'm pretty sure Claire will have a same phase after the EOE, so please give her time to recover. For my case, I was super exhausted, primarily because Yara asked me to organize a midnight karaoke session after the EOE. Anyway, so training and networking through training opportunity. So this is the institute where I work. So the OIST is one of the unique institute they developed in one of the resort island. And then there's a tempting beach nearby. With the help and the initiative by Leon and the AIC support for the AIC team, we were able to have the Okinawa microscopy workshop, connecting life science researcher in Japan and Southeast Asia. And then, as you can see, everybody's smiling, everybody's happy, simply because it was not only about teaching how to use microscope, how to understand optics and so on, but this is entirely purely for networking. And then until this trading opportunity or workshop, many, even within the domestic Japanese researcher didn't have a chance to network, as well as the Southeast Asia community. And then by seeing this face and then seeing in the member of the IC or Imaging Southeast Asia, many participants I see in this became a key member of the IC establishment, and I really congratulate IC. And I'm really happy for this. For international training course and international job shadowing program, which I thank GLAB for countless support on this. And then we managed to do image training course, image processing training course, as well as job shadowing at my place. And we wanted to do this every year, basically. But as a huge demand that also everybody wants to do this kind of session. So to do so, we need to clone GLAB, which we haven't managed to do so. So we need to do something about this. Another challenge is career and human resource as an asset. I guess this is common for most of the place. For this, I need to briefly explain about the background that we have we have a very few number of facility to begin with, and then the facility technical staff often they're not the researcher background, but more like technical staff working in the lab who has the microscopy. And then they didn't have an opportunity to have, go through this kind of microscope workshop, most of the microscope knowledge they get from the PhD or the postdoc working in the lab. So we try to have a standardized sort of standardized skill set for this technical staff, as well as I wanted to encourage them to network so that most of the time they are like a lone warrior, fighting or not fighting, but working solely dealing with the demands that scientists brings. So I wanted to do so not only about teaching a microscope, but then more like to engaging a networking. And then we did this in various locations with a mobile platform, because most of the technical staff doesn't even have a travel grant or travel allowance, because they're not a slave, but dedicated personnel working in the lab. So instead, me and all these instructors that have a same passion going to the various places in Japan to conduct this kind of training course. So we use the standardized basic kit to understand optics, and using the microscope that they have to learn how to use, how to do the sample prep, and how to adapt to the requests that they have. And then we started with the 4 participants back in 2022. It was a very small step, but then we worked with the company, and then we get lots of support. And now we are counting 11 times this year. And happily, we recruited participants to become support staff. So not only they just receiving in a passive manner, but we want them to proactively become a course instructor. And then this this drive slowly changed the mindset of the facility staff. And then many of them became a trainer organizing their own training course. And then this not only motivate the local facility staff, but then this promoting the supporting activity, as well as boosting a recognition of a core facility and the facility staff. And last, I don't know how much time I have, but I stop? I need to stop. Give me like 1 minute. So working as an imaging scientist, I guess yesterday we had this impact session, so we all know what it is. But let me ask this question. How many of you or your parents know what you do? So I've been working this microscope field for like 20 years, and then my dad doesn't know what I'm doing, no matter how much you explain. So instead, I changed my strategy. So my strategy was, so my dad has been working in the civil engineering field. So like geopolymer, concrete, and all this material. And then he's an expert in this physical strengths of the material and chemical composition. But I asked my dad, hey, have you seen your material under the microscope? And he was, why? What for? So I said, okay, let's try to do something. So he brought his own expert of this, studying chemical composition of the material. I combined with the technique of visualization. And then we found some unique structure in his material. And then it ended up, we found the perfect correlation of the physical strength and then the structure of the material that he used. And then we ended up published 2 technical papers. One in American Society of Civil Engineering, and then it's a technical paper and research paper last year. So I'm super happy about this. And then I want to emphasize that imaging scientist is not only a fun job, but could be a devoted son to your parents. Thank you.